And today with Mr. Exu, have you ever wanted to say this to somebody?
There you go.
And your wallet.
Nick, give him your wallet.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
So I know I have. And today we're going to be talking about cold steel knives. That's right. This is the 1917 Frontier Bowie. And this is a knife. This is a blued steel metal end cap. There it is. Take a look at that. Now this here is interesting. Pull that off. And whoa, hold on. Let me make sure I got this right. And you know this is live because, you know, yeah, okay. So this slips off. This slips off. And this is a dangler, just to let you know. It's all leather. So what they say is back in the day, you could put this in your belt and wear it on your belt. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that unless you're doing the mountain man thing. But at the same time, you can slip it back on here, put it back on the post, put it back on the post, hello, and once again, you know, I do my own stunts too, you should see that sometimes. There we go. How easy was that? So, you can wear it on your belt. Now, when you initially get this, it'll be in there very solidly. And you pull it out and put it back in. That's what she said. It gets a lot easier. So with that being said, here is the 1917 Bowie. Now this is a clip point. Now Bowie knife is a style of blade. Not all Bowie knives have clip points. But this is definitely a style that has become very popular when describing a Bowie knife. Bowie, potato, potato. Metal, S-guard. They call the handle a modified pistol grip because it's really important, you know, when Mr. Thompson and the team got together to design this, they wanted to make sure that you always knew where the blade was oriented. Okay. Held on with 3 screws. There's a place to choke up right there. Peekaboo. There you go. It does have a fuller. Now the question to you might be, is it sharp? Well, let's go ahead and see. There you go. Nice and sharp. So this is a really nice big knife. Later on, I'm going to show you, I'm actually, for the first time on my channel, I'm going to chop through something. So I'm going to put that at the end. But here is this really big, beautiful knife. If you're ever going to do a Crocodile Dundee reenactment, this might be what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and put up the stats. So there were the specifications. But you're like, Mr. Exu, that is pretty cool, but 1917 doesn't do it for me. Well, then that's okay. Here is their Wild West Bowie. So here's an interesting thing. I live close enough to Cold Steel to go to their parking lot events. I've been to, well, let's just say at least 3, maybe 4. And what I like to do, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Cold Steel, if they were like other companies, they'd be nice and quiet. Cold Steel is an over-the-top company. Lynn Thomas, well, I'll put it up there. Their marketing is over the top. Some people love it. I love it. Some people don't. That's okay. You don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about freedom. But it is a community. And I've met so many neat people that have modified their own stuff. And the good thing about Cold Steel is their parking lot events, you can get fantastic deals. So what I like to do when I go to parking lot events is I like to bring a customized Cold Steel with me. And this is no exception. Because when you open up the leather sheath, you will notice that I had this hot blued, not cold blued, hot blued. Took off this. This had to be, debraised to remove. And I paid to have this hot blued because Mr. Rexu doesn't like shiny blades. By and large, I don't go for shiny blades. And then I had this lasered in by my good friends at Crazy Laser back in the days when America still had gun shows over in Orange County, California. But wait, I also had Veff Serrations put into this. So this is a truly one-of-a-kind knife. In retrospect, now how much did this cost? For my own mental well-being, I forgot how much I paid to have this done. It was not cheap. Will I ever do it again? No. But I wish what I would have done is had some canvas micarta handle put on it. That would have been really cool. But talking to people, it would have been even more expensive. And it should have been done before I had the blade hot blued. But once again, here we have the classic Bowie style. The thing about Bowie knives, blade shapes do vary. A clip point and a Bowie. A Bowie is a style of knife, a clip point. But not all Bowies have clip points. But these do have clip points. See the swedge? See the nice belly on this? This kind of reminds me of in Texas, where everything apparently is bigger. They have a huge Bowie knife, tomato, tomato. They have a big statue of one of these, maybe not this thing in particular, but they have a big statue of a Bowie knife sticking into the ground. I want to go see that one of these days. That'd be pretty darn cool. So here is the Wild West Bowie with that laser engraving. I'm going to put this over here. And then I'm going to put I'm going to put up the specifics for you. So the next knife from Cold Steel that I got, I actually like so much that I bought two. And this is the first one. This is the Cold Steel Marauder Sub-Hilt Bowie. It comes with a Securex sheath, but I like to resheath a lot of my knives. And this is the maker that Spartan blades use. You know, I have Spartan blades. I'll be doing videos on those later on. So Okuden is the name of the company that makes sheaths for Spartan blades. So this will come off. You'll be able to pull that up here. It's easy for you to size it for the size of your belt if you have a standard belt or maybe something a little bit thicker. Once it wraps around here, it's not going to move. It's very secure, especially when you come up to here. So let's go ahead and pull out the knife. Now, these were satin originally, if I'm not mistaken. So what did I do? Well, once again, bringing something unique over to the parking lot event, excuse me, I cold blued it. This is the first knife I ever cold blued. And that Japanese AUS 8 steel, boy, I tell you what, it took a lot to get it to this point. And yes, we do. Let me get over here. So what this says, in morta ultima veritas vincent veritas in omni re. Let me put this down here real quick. Now I'm going to read it to you. Okay, in Latin, it says, "In death lies the final truth. Truth conquers in all matters." And once again, thanks to my good friends over at crazy laser. Now here is the second one. Now this sheath was made by Redhill Sheaths. I own a lot of sheaths from Redhill Sheaths. Oh yeah, you see that sticker, you know what that means. So this one, I had Air Cure Cerakoted from a company called OC Custom Coating here in Anaheim, California. Please note the serrations. Now, if you were to get a really good look at this, they did such a good job. There's just a thin razor edge where they did the Cerakote. So the interesting thing about this handle is the reason why I could not do traditional Cerakote is the Kraton G, if I'm not mistaken. I'll flash it up there without any corrections. This could not handle the temperatures required to traditionally Cerakote it. That's why it had to be air cured. But this fits so good into the hand. Now this is full tang. I talked to Cold Steel today and confirmed that this is full tang. Now the interesting thing is this. They don't make this one anymore in the satin. The last people, well, I think it's Knife Center. It would originally MSRP for $119.99. It is now discontinued in that style, and it was going for $79.95 afterwards. Now they do have a fully serrated Marauder with the Cold Steel serrations, and they also have a stone-washed version also, which is good for me because I'm not a really big fan of shiny blades. Yay! And let's go over this. Serrations are not necessarily good for batoning. What they are good for, if you watch some of the videos, is well through cutting through stuff. Leather-like objects, cans, Americans, all those other things. Gotta watch your politically correctness here. But if you wanted to cut through something, pair of jeans with some steaks in it, maybe some pork loin, yada, 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 well, serrations are good for that, and they're fantastic for cutting cordage. Most of all, it's there for cutting cordage. So just remember that, don't complain about buying a serrated blade knife and you went to go baton through a oak tree and your serrations didn't hold up good to it. Just remember, that's not necessarily what they're for. So here's an interesting story. So at one of these events that I went to with one of these knives, this guy comes out in a bite suit. A bite suit is something you wear when you're working with working dogs, like a German Shepherd or a Malinois. I have a friend who is in the Marine Corps. Excuse me. I get all choked up when I talk about him. No, I'm kidding. And he worked with a Malinois, if I'm not mistaken, and they call those things fur missiles because they shoot out like a bat out of hell, and they do their job. So here it comes. They're just getting ready to open up the event. Here comes the guy jogging down the street, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this working dog, and they sick him on the guy running away. Now, what did I think when I heard that?
Come back here, goddammit! I'll stick my dog on you! Run, Gordy! Chopper! Sick him, boy!
Now he said sick 'em boy, but what I heard was chopper sick balls.
That's right. I started shouting sick balls, just like Chopper in the movie Sandlot. And that's definitely one way how you can end up on one of their clips on the Cold Steel website. Now, just to give you a good understanding on how big these are, this is a Clip Point Recon 1 with a Snaggletooth. This is an aftermarket device. It's an Emerson wave-like device. So when you put this up against the Marauder, when you put this up against the 1917 or the Wild West, you could tell that these knives are no joke. And I personally just love, you know, things are going slow here in COVID. Just go over to the Cold Steel site and watch all their proof. That's worth entertainment in its own. So here they are. My Cold Steel Bowie knife collection. Is that all the Bowie knives they have? No, they have more. Just haven't bought them yet. But here I am sharing them with you today. I hope you enjoyed the stories. What the doctor says is a sense of humor. Was it a doctor? I don't know. It could be anybody at this point. We've been locked up for so long. It's better to laugh than to cry. So with that in mind, start laughing, pick up your favorite blade, and remember, have a knife day. Will it cut? Ooh. Yes, they will cut. My goodness, that's the first time I've ever cut anything down on a video. There you go. So how does it cut after this? Oops. There you go. It's still sharp enough to cut through paper. All right. Have a beautiful day. Oh, have a knife day.